Okay, so here we go. We're back in Scrap Mechanic. I've been playing on my own game here, trying to get a little bit more advanced. So let's go in and take a look at the next steps after you've got to that first base. Okay, so we're at the mechanics place where we got the better crafting station. Now, what I did was went over here to pod number one. I just gotta put everything inside here. The way that these doors work, the robots can't get in or out of them. So it's pretty safe, kind of set up, just sticking stuff to the walls, put it on the floor. Once you can build chests, that'll give you a lot of room. Just kind of set things up here. As you can see, I've made a bunch of the bots already. Took a lot of farming. We'll talk about that in a minute. Just things randomly stuck to the walls. Save for later. Pretty safe. Went out back here. Now I've got one cow that will stay inside the pen. Everyone else just runs away or glitches out or whatever. So this is Bruce. Bruce is the only good cow. Oh, hey, there's a corn cob that you're trying to get. Bruce, let me help you out here. There you go, bud. Can you get that? Bruce, are you broken? Are you a broken cow, Bruce? I feel bad, Bruce. Well, you'll probably get fixed later. We'll leave that corn there for you. So, I made a pen. Only he stays inside. Originally, we had 4 cows. The other 3 broke out, ran away. These 2 came and joined. They look like they want to go inside, but only he stays inside. Don't know why, but hey, he's keeping us with some milk every now and then. Over here, as I said, we stole those lights from last time in order to light up our farm. So I got this nice fresh sign, crank the lights up to max. Right now I'm only harvesting 8 things at a time. As I mentioned, if you plant more than 8, it will send the invasion after you, and I'm too busy exploring. I don't want to have to come home every night and look after my base. Now, things to note. Radishes, carrots, and tomatoes, 8 is fine. If you get onto the more exotic things like blueberries, bananas, pineapples, then even planting 4 of those might start a invasion. So just be mindful. I'm sticking with radishes. They do the same food and water, so nice even food. Don't have to worry about it. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Obviously, we've done a lot of work since last we started. I haven't built anything from here. All this kind of, I guess I built some gears or bearings, but not from here. All this scrap stuff I haven't done. I am probably going to build a scrap engine to run my mining stuff, so I'm not using a better engine. Basically, what you want to do from here is kind of look for structures, which it's the middle of the night. So we'll be back in the morning so I can show you what that looks like. Okay, it is daytime. Lovely, lovely daytime. So as I was saying, what you want to do from here is kind of look for structures that you can see. We know that when we came down the road to get here, there's kind of some silo. There's another building hiding behind these signs or these trees. Yeah, there it is. Big antenna on top. So you want to look for those buildings, because those are going to have farm bots guaranteed for you to go and fight. So what you're going to say is, Skulk, how do I get over there, go exploring, and remember how to get back home? Well, unfortunately, the only answer is to die. So when you die, you put down a little one of these backpacks. As long as you leave one item in it, it'll stay forever. Even if you die other times, they just make other backpacks, you're fine. Easiest way to do this, take a bunch of big stack of blocks. This is called the Minecraft Noob Tower trick. Basically place a block, stand on top of it, get your cursor ready, jump, place another one, and you're just going to keep repeating this process until you are high enough in the air that you'll die from fall damage. Now it'll take a little while. You're probably going to want to go a solid 200 blocks into the sky, step off the edge. Now the key is make sure you have something in your inventory that you don't want back. So for me, I had an extra one of these heads. Haven't really found a use for it yet. Have a few other extras in the garage. So that's what I left in there. That way, no matter how far I go from my house, I always have this little marker that you can see through buildings, see through anywhere. Can always guide me home. So as long as this is my home and as long as I leave that there, I can find my way home. So we're good from that front. So at this point, you're good to go. You can kind of explore whatever direction you want and try and find as much materials as you want. Now, the key is going to be those harvester robots. We need their arms. We need to break down those arms into scrap metal so we can turn that scrap metal into metal blocks and higher versions of them. So, you go out, you go over there, you go over here. I started out following the roads. Roads tend to lead to buildings. You can even just go running through the forest. You'll find these guys all over the place. They do seem a bit more abundant at night. So if you want to go out in the dark, it's up to you. Just be careful. Take a lot of food with you. First bot you want to make is this guy here, the craft bot. Now, if we take a look, so he's going to take 90 scrap blocks, 10 component kits, and 10 circuits. Circuits, you're going to have more than you'll ever need. Component kits are the rare resource. Watch out for those. But definitely spend your first 10 on getting this guy versus making anything else. Once you've got him, your world unlocks. You've now got so many different things to build. Look at all these different blocks and gadgets and contraptions and decorative things. Make a little duck. I get some windshields, all sorts of things. So the three tools are the Connect tool, the Paint tool, and the Weld tool. Connect tool is going to be your first tool you want. Weld tool second. Paint tool, that you can put off as long as you want. It's just for color coding things. Super fun to have. I haven't built one yet, but I'll get there. Blocks kind of show you the different blocks we have available to us right now. They all have varying stats over here on the right. Their buoyancy, friction, durability, weight. Are they flammable? Sometimes they have descriptions. Most of the blocks don't. So you can see things like the bubble plastic block. Very buoyant. But not very strong, not very heavy. Concrete blocks, super heavy, super durable. Obviously not very buoyant, but also not flammable. So this is where you're going to kind of choose your materials, what you want to build out of. Metal blocks is kind of your first step away from scrap. You will need to craft these. You will then need to craft metal block 2 and metal block 3 if you want to make all of the bots that we saw on that list. So you need 50 metal blocks. You need 50 metal block 3, 50 metal block 2, and then I'll have to do the math on metal block 1. But to get 50 of this, you need 150, or to get 50 of this and have 50 left over, you're going to need to make 150 metal blocks 2. In order to get 150 metal blocks 2, you then need to make a ton more of this, which means I think it's like to get 150 of this is like 225 of this, and then you need 360 scrap metal in order to get all the metal blocks that you need for some of the robots. So you're gonna have to go out in the world. You're gonna have to craft, or not craft, kill. You're gonna have to go out because you're gonna need 60 more of this. You'll want to make some of these. These are the guys Dressbot needs the most. You can put this off for a long time if you want to. I built it. I have no use for it because I haven't found cotton. Cookbot, also one. You can hold off on this. It only has 3 recipes. I'll show them to you in a minute. Not super worth your time right now. I would focus on, obviously, get CraftBot. Get yourself a Refine Bot. Just makes things easier. And maybe a couple resource collectors. The other 2, don't sweat it. Save them for later. You don't need them. But since I said I'd show you, Cookbot I put over in my house because sometimes he scares me because he makes clanging noises and makes sure he acts like he's attacking. So he's only got 3 options in here. You've got a pizza burger, a veggie burger, and the Revival Baguette. If you're not playing with friends in multiplayer, then Revival Baguette you don't really need because you're not going to revive anybody. Veggie burger is the easier burger to make because it just takes vegetables and you could easily make that in one night of farming without having to worry about getting overrun. Pizza Burger, a little bit more involved, needing the milk and the actual steaks. Means you're going to have to go farm both having cows to get milk from and then having cows that you're going to kill for the meat. So Veggie Burger is probably the way to go. Fills up max hunger meter. I've heard people say it does water as well. I'm going to have to experiment with that. Makes sense since it has tomatoes and things in it. Dressbot, I put over here. He conveniently fits right between, kind of. As you can see, he's clipping in the wall. Dressbot, even if you have one of these garment boxes, you need 5 cotton to be able to do anything with it, which we don't have. But you can go in here, change your hair, change your face, kind of change your clothes at any times. And when I built this is when I unlocked these clothes that are less ragged. They look like the original versions before we crashed. So nothing too fancy, but it does get you out of your rags if you're worried about how you look. Oh no! Billy and Skulk are gone! Okay, so we're gonna have to go find some new friends. Let's just double check. Is there someone hiding in here? There is. Whenever you reload the game, right now, it seems to bring this guy back. He also comes back if you stray too far from your base. So at least you know you're going to get a little bit of materials each time. Now there are some things you're going to want to collect. So we've already created our death marker. We're fine to move out. Now in the water, there's a few resources that are kind of underwater that you can get. Now when you're swimming, if you're in this third-person view, or first-person view rather, you don't see any animations. You look like you're just walking. If you zoom out, then you start swimming. Now you can hold shift and you can sprint underwater. First up is these clams. Glue clams, as you can guess, are going to make glue for us. Takes 3 of these, I believe, for every 1 glue. You've also got these. This is your oil. So you just pick those up. As you can see, it's putting it in my inventory. We got 3 now. This is the only way to make gasoline for your vehicles. You can find a lot of gasoline out in the world, but if you want to kind of speed up the process, get it yourself. Right now, there's no way for either of these 2 resources to be like auto-harvested. Hopefully in the future. Right now, you do have to go out, swim around, find them, come back home. It does take a little bit of time, but it's worth it to have the gas for your vehicles to get things going. So that's some more kind of basic stuff. As you can see, I've got my refinery set up. I've just got it right here for now. I got 3 of these so I can go out, collect a couple loads worth of things. I've been stealing vending machines as I go. This is going to be a future project, looking at whether or not I can build a base on top of this and then be protected without having to fight if I build more crops. These are just all the tops that go on those. We'll figure out where we want to put those later. I do, at this point, think you're kind of ready to, like, it's just a material farming game at this point. The other thing you want to look out for is honeycomb. So, if we go out, usually on these rock outcroppings, we'll see if we get lucky. I hear bees, yeah. Okay, so you want to farm a bunch of this. Super easy to get. The bees don't hurt you, which is nice. Played a lot of games where bees are very dangerous. Get a bunch of beeswax. There's usually 2 or 3 on each of these big rocks. So you're going to go out. You're looking for honeycomb, because you're going to need that. You're looking for robots to kill, so that you can get their arms. And you're looking for component kits. Component kits, find those chests, break them open, get as many component kits as you want. Component kits are used to upgrade things. So upgrading this once to level 2 let me build 4 things in a row instead of only 2 things in a row. When you start to build like vehicles, oops, you kind of upgrade your driver's seat to say how many things it can connect to. When you have your engine, upgrading it is how fast it can go and how efficient it is, so it burns less gas. That's all really for now in terms of upgrading. I think you can also upgrade like your cookbot and things like that, but no real point at this point. It's mostly to be used to also to build like anything that's kind of smart, like the large chests, vacuum pumps. If you want to make some engines, a lot of stuff is going to require those component kits. That's going to be the thing that kind of holds you back most, is whether or not you can find a good number of component kits. Next up, you're probably going to want to look into getting some wheels, which is why you need those honeycombs. Get some wheels, get yourself a gas engine. If you don't have the parts for it, you can build a scrap engine. Obviously, if you can spend the extra time and get yourself right to a gas engine, then you're going to be better off, because upgrading this is something you're actually going to use long term, whereas the other one you won't. And then I got lucky. I found a driver's seat in a chest, so I was able to skip to that. Most of you, if you don't find cotton, are going to have to go with the scrap driver's seat first. It's not upgradable, so you're really only going to be able to attach it to your engine and maybe steering. Yeah, like it's a lot more complicated. Make bearings turn right and left, and it can do one engine. Cool. So it gives you everything you need, but a little bit nicer to have this. So if you're looking to get milk, if you do want milk, kind of just start, you got to go harvest corn. It's just found out in the world. You put it down every couple corn that they eat, they will pop out some milk for you. Milk is probably one of the best ways to refill thirst, or to make those burgers. Now that it's getting dark out, one thing that we lost, you can find these glowing guys overnight. Now they've been with me for a couple days. I don't know why all of a sudden they disappeared when I loaded in. But these cute little guys are needed for certain things. Obviously, you move a bit slower when you're carrying things, so keep that in mind. So, we're going to put you down for a second there, guy. Oops. I'm just going to make you a little house. Just so we can keep you contained. So this guy eats cardboard. Loves cardboard. You can actually place it pretty high, and he'll just slowly kind of munch away at it. And he is going to give us a resource that we want. Eventually. He does have to eat quite a bit of it before he'll give it to you. So we're going to let him eat away. The resource we're looking for is... where are my glow sticks at? These kind of round glow turds, glow poops. So those are needed to make glow sticks, which can be a great way to kind of light things up in the dark. I don't know if too many things actually need them, but it's just kind of a resource to have, and the glow sticks really do help at night. And they do last a long time. Oh, explosives also need it. So if you want to get into explosives, there we go. So he spits out one little poop. It's just called glow. Collect enough of those, you can start making glow sticks. It makes 4 glow sticks out of 4 of them with some of this chemical. Chemical you find tons of. Later on, you can find even more. And this is kind of be what you want to spend your next bit of time doing. You don't have to worry about a vehicle yet. You kind of go out. You're going to spend a bunch of hours just looking for machines, beating them up, getting their arms. You press E to refine it, so you get the metal from it. And you come back home when you're full. You unload your resources. You go back out again. You're going to need to find, like, probably, let's say, to start off with, about 500 scrap metal, which is, you get 10 per. So that would be about 50 robots you have to kill if you get every arm before you're kind of good to go and continue any sort of crafting. Well, that'll be all for today, guys. I hope you learned a few things. This is kind of being what I've been working on in the background. It does take quite a few hours. Kind of with everything here, probably took me about 15 hours to get. A lot more to build this vehicle. But yeah, that's all for this time. I'll see you guys next time.